Today I'm going to walk you through how to create an appointment in Power Diary. Once you've opened up the diary, logged in and gone to your preferred calendar, select on a preferred start time. For example, today we're going to be using Friday the 13th at 11 AM. When creating the appointments, there are two different ways to create an entry. You can be creating a return patient, which is someone who is already in the system, or we're going to be adding a new client. Today we will be doing both. But firstly, let's create an appointment for a return client. Once we've selected the time, we need to then search for the client in the database, which is over here to the right where it says search for a client. We start entering in the client's name, for example, Jack Sparrow. As we start entering in the information, the system's going to pop up some suggestions, and then we click the most appropriate. If there are multiples, make sure to confirm the spelling, and if there need be, to confirm the phone number. Once we've selected our patient, we then go down to appointment details, where we can enter in additional information such as notes, for example, reason for the appointment, or if the patient does mention something that needs to be passed on to the practitioner. You would then select a service. This is where we mark whether or not the appointment is an initial or a return, or other categories that might be relevant to the practitioner. In this situation, we're going to be marking it as a return appointment. Now, we don't need to update the start and the end time of the appointment. We have nominated the start time by selecting that 11 AM to 11:30 time period, and by changing the appointment type, we are going to be adjusting the length automatically, as each appointment type does have a default length determined in the back end of the system. We then are going to go with the default location, and we're going to hit save. As we can see, this has created an appointment for a Jack Sparrow at 11 AM on Friday the 13th. We're now going to create an appointment for a new patient. We would then select on the preferred start time. For example, we're going to go with Thursday the 12th at 2 PM. Rather than searching for a client in the database, we're going to add a new client, because they of course would not be in the database yet. And of course we're going to take down as much information as possible, and confirming the spelling, and the double confirming that the phone numbers are correct. Okay, here we go. We then have an extra area to add information, where we can add the address and the home phone number. As with all new patients, if we have the field available to us, we should be taking down as much information as possible. So here we'll add the address, and a phone number. For example purposes, we're going to use the silent partner number. Okay, we then change the appointment details, again adding any notes. So for example, we could be including the reason for the appointment, if I can spell that correctly, or whom they were referred by. We would then select a service. So in this instance, because they're a new patient and they're not in the database, we're going to mark it as an initial appointment, again leaving the location as the default. Then hit save, and as with the return patients, it automatically updates the appointment length in the back end of the system, which has now changed it to an hour and a half in duration. So that's how we create a new appointment in the system. Again, so that applies for both new patients and return patients. Thank you.